Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering. Off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. I'm playing for you series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I sure am hungry, so I'm glad I got a deal on this. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I am inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, though? Happens to be my Cold Army shirt. I've worn this one in any number of reviews, and that's because I'm a big fan of the band Cold. But I hear you proclaim, Brandon, I have no idea who and or what Cold is. What the fuck are they? So Cold is a band that's actually been around for quite a while. I believe they got started as far back as like the late 80s, originally as a band called Grundig. Eventually, they changed the name to Cold. They had an association, I think to some extent probably still do, with Limp Bizkit, which then allowed them to sort of, kind of meet the right people, get into the right circles, and basically sort of at the end of the 90s and into the early 2000s, they had this really big breakout period. They sort of tagged in with kind of the nu metal vibe at the time. They were never like the most nu metal-y of nu metal bands at all, but that's actually when I got into them and I became a big fan of theirs. I've been fortunate, I've seen them live a few times now. I try to see them every year. And at the time I'm doing this, folks, I actually have videos of their performances I've attended that are on the channel. If nothing else, if you happen to be interested, I'd be more than happy to kind of point you in the right direction as far as their music goes, because they're one of my favorite bands. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Got a deal, eh? So yes, and if you're a longtime viewer of my channel, you probably already know where this is going, but happens to be a Thursday, and folks, when it happens to be a Thursday, that's always a prime opportunity for me to go out to, boom, Buffalo Wild Wings. Why? Because on Thursdays, they have a buy one, get one free deal on their boneless wings. So you go over there, put it in order, you get to double it. This works out really nicely for me because, well, for one, I'm a rotund individual with a good appetite. And then on top of that, it allows me to go over there and try out their new flavors and, basically work my way through their menu. I've actually done so many of them now, I have an entire playlist just for Buffalo Wild Wings reviews. Turns out they got two brand new flavors, specifically Barbecue Ranch and Buffalo Blue. Ooh, look at it. I'm going to start with the Barbecue Ranch because, fuck it, it's right there. Let's get a thing for the thing here real quick. Kind of do it like this, and we'll just kind of block out the other one. Let's try out some Barbecue Ranch. It seems like at this point they're just fusing their flavors together. Like, okay, Barbecue Ranch and Buffalo Blue. Whatever, man. At the end of the day, as long as it tastes good. But will it taste good? That's what we're here to find out. Because remember, folks, I'm going on this journey with you. I don't know shit about this, so. Let's get a thing. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that. Because the thing with Buffalo Wild Wings, typically their sauces are decent enough, They have their ups or downs, but it's pretty rare. I don't think I've ever found one that, I actively disliked. But especially when they do, new flavors, it can be very hit or miss as to whether or not it lives up to the potential. And especially, like I said, they're trying something new, so it's sometimes I feel like they overreach a little bit. This one, though, not at all. This one, I think they really hit the nail on the head. That's actually It's nice, kind of zesty, tangy. It just works really nice. And the thing is, for me personally, it sort of extra works out because a lot of times, I mean, when I go over there, when you get the buy one, get one free deal, you also get 2 dips for free. I think up to 4, actually. I only get 2. I'll get a blue cheese and I'll get a ranch. So, a lot of times, when I'm done doing these reviews, I'll go over there and use one of said dipping sauces to, you know, enhance my experience. And if I'm going over there and putting barbecue into ranch already, so this kind of just cuts out the middleman. Yeah. I like that. The chicken itself is fine. Buffalo Wild Wings chicken, it's not bad. It's I've gained a greater appreciation for it through doing the course of these videos because like I've compared it against others, and it's like Wingstop, somewhat comparable, but like I've had stuff from some places where it's pretty gnarly. But the chicken is tender. It's a little bit crunchy on the outside, so it's decent enough chicken. But yeah, I think this one works really nicely. If I had to go over there and give it a ratio, I'd say it's probably about 70-30 on behalf of the barbecue. Part of that, though, is probably just because the barbecue flavor is just a little bit stronger. But I like the fact that, it's like with Buffalo Wild Wings, their barbecue sauce tends to be a little bit sweeter. I personally prefer like richer barbecue sauces, a little bit smoky. I kind of feel like the ranch takes away that sweetness, and instead it just kind of adds to the zinginess of it. So it's nice. I like this. It's actually, I think this is a good one for him. Like, there's nothing at all that I dislike about that. All right, cool. But 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get these again? Would I recommend them? I have to go with yes and yes. I think that, because I've tried in the past, they've done some other like sauce fusion combo flavors before. I forget what the one was, but I think it was their Buffalo Ranch, maybe. I don't remember. There was one of them, though, that I reviewed not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago or something. And that one really didn't impress me. I felt like the ratios were off. It just felt very unbalanced. This one, even though, yeah, the barbecue sauce is a little bit stronger, I feel like it just kind of works better for me, And again, I think some of that's definitely just personal preference. Because, like, I don't hate I don't hate, like, sweet barbecue sauces, but, like, they're not my preference. So, knocking out that sweetness and instead just giving you a little bit more zippiness from the ranch. Plus, it kind of makes it a little bit less heavy because, you've got that, ranch isn't exactly fresh, but it has kind of a fresh sort of vibe to it that you don't typically get in a barbecue sauce. So it kind of lifts it up a little bit. I would get these again. I like them. I think the fusion works pretty well in this instance. Again, I will say this: if Buffalo Wild Wings had a more preferable barbecue sauce to me, I probably wouldn't like it as much. But in this case, I feel like it's an improvement. Now, if I'm recommending it, I'm definitely going to recommend it because I think, worst case scenario, these are nice tasting wings. There's nothing like inherently wrong with the flavor of the sauce. It might not be to your preference because, again, it's going to depend on what you like out of, those flavor combinations. But I think that this, like I said, I just think this one works nicely. And I think, worst case scenario, maybe it won't be quite to your taste, but like there's nothing bad about it. So it's at least worth trying, especially since I'm sure it's going to be a limited edition thing. So, but anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there yourselves a truly smoky barbecue sauce-tastic rest of your life. I like smoky barbecue sauce. I'm just saying. Everybody likes their own stuff, though. Final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there, whenever possible, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your preference when it comes to barbecue sauces? Are you more of a sweet barbecue sauce person? Are you more smoky, rich, spicy? What's your vibe on it? Do you have a favorite brand? I don't think that I personally have a favorite brand per se, but, just a general kind of flavor profile that I like. But let me know about you. I'd be interested to hear about it.